Hello and welcome to this episode of Talking Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we are looking at the trim panel kit for the Austin-Healey 3000 BJ7 model. Now the trim panel kit incorporates all of the main interior cockpit cabin panels that you need to retrim your car. Now we sell this as a kit and it works out cheaper to buy as a kit, and obviously means that all of the materials are all matching up, etc., as they're cut from the same batch. But we can sell all of the items within this kit individually. Now when I refer to individually, I mean as a car set. So for example, on the A-post Footwell kick panels, they're sold as a pair, i.e. enough to retrim one car. But they're also included in this trim panel kit, which works out cheaper overall. Bit of a caveat to that, in this particular video, the dash top at the front there and the door tops have been fully trimmed. Our trim panel kit only includes materials to retrim your original plywood and metalwork respectively. However, this customer has opted for the upgraded kit where the dash top and the door tops have been fully trimmed up, so just bear that in mind. That's the only main caveat. Now, OEM spec for the BJ7s, the trim panels were in vinyl ambler material or leather cloth, depending on the exact era. We can supply in that. However, this particular kit, this video, has been done in full leather, so he's upgraded full leather, he's going full leather seats, etc. So all of the trim panels has been done in leather as well. We've used, in this particular case, Matador Red, which is a deep red, and we've used a grained leather. We can also offer smooth or Vomel price on availability. So just bear that in mind. It's worth checking out the description below. It says further information on the parts in this video, but there's also some useful links to other videos on our YouTube channel, but also to useful links on our website where we go into lots of details about the materials that we use, not just the quality, but also the benefits of using different materials in different areas and what was original, etc. So a wealth of information, ever growing as well. So just keep an eye on our handbook blog post area, as well as other links in the description below. Right, that being said, let's dive on in. So let's start at the front of the car. Now, obviously I've just mentioned about the dash top, so let's have a quick look. We'll start there. So dash top panel, like I say, normally as part of the trim panel kit is just material to recover your original plywood material, but this one has been fully trimmed up. So plywood base on it's got obviously the demister vent slots. We don't trim those out. It's best to do that in situ, literally do a little slit and trim through with the finishers, etc. But it does incorporate obviously the main ply, brand new cut out. It has the dash rubber crash roll in there, and then it's foamed, and it's got the metal side panels as well and trimmed all the way around on there. So that's obviously leather, lovely finish on the leather there. So yeah, that's an optional extra outside the scope of the trim kit, is to get the dash top fully trimmed up. Otherwise it would be the leather and the 3mm foam for padding it there, which is part of the trim panel kit. We do sell the crash roll rubber as well, but that is sold completely separately, so just bear that in mind. Then you've got the dashboard fascia. It's material retrim kit, so again leather. We standardize it for left-hand drive, right-hand drive, right-hand drive, so all you have to do is cut away one side slightly more than the other, dependent on if you have a right-hand drive or a left-hand drive car. Worth noting as well, just while we're on the going back to the dash top, BJ7s, the dash tops were colour coordinated to the rest of the main trim, i.e. red. However, for the BJ8s, which did share the same dash top panel, BJ8 standardised that to black, just FYI. Right, and then carrying on with the dash area, you've got the underdash parcel tray. So a continuation of the earlier 3000s. You had carpet that sat in the tray, and then you had a material that retrimmed the metal element of it. Again, obviously this has been done in leather. It's effectively inside out for the way it gets trimmed, but you get carpet. Obviously the carpet we match to the main interior carpets. This has been done in classic red wool, so it's a top-notch material. Obviously we can offer nylon or carvel as well, but wool is the creme de la creme of automotive carpets. Now obviously if you're just getting the trim panel kit from us, then we will ask you what colour and material the rest of your carpets are, and we'll try and match it up, but obviously there's no guarantee we can 100% match it. However, this customer has opted for a complete interior, thus the carpets is part of that kit, and we have literally cut this at the same time as the carpet set, so everything is going to tie in lovely on that. Then we've got the A-post Footwell kick panels. So these go in front of the door panels, in the Footwell area on the side walls. You get a left-hand panel and a right-hand panel. The right-hand panel always had this cut out in the middle of it. It's something to do with the right-hand drive cars, where it gave a bit of extra toe room for the resting right foot next to the throttle pedal, apparently. So they just standardised it. Even on the left-hand drive cars, it still had that cutaway on the right-hand footwell. So that's like that. We supply obviously enough leather there, or material rather, to recover the bodywork behind that, so it all ties in. Obviously in this case it's leather, normally it would be vinyl. The panels themselves, they are a hardboard cut on our in-house CNC machine. It's the 2.55mm. Worth checking out the link in the description below about our materials, because it's a very specific hardboard that we get specially imported, and it's very useful for automotive and marine. It's got good oil tempered, water resistant properties to it, but it's got great flex to it while keeping its main core strength, so much more suitable than marine ply, which a lot of other people out there use. And it's the correct thickness as well. A lot of companies out there use 3mm, which makes it tough for certain panels to fit correctly, so just bear that in mind. Carrying on with the A-post footwell, sorry, we trim them all the way around apart from on this back edge here, because that tucks behind the A-post pillar area on the door to create a nice seamless finish when the door edging's put on. Right, going on to the main door panels. So we're looking at the actual door panels themselves, the outer ones. These are again hardboard, trimmed all the way around, and they have the big open area there for the inner section of the doors. Now the BJ7s were quite unique in terms of their doors. The earlier ones had kind of a bit of a recessed pocket in them. BJ7s didn't. They instead switched to this inner aluminium part, which I'll get to. So the main door panels are sold as a pair, i.e. just those panels there. This book here, you can just about see them there. Not a great image, I'm afraid. It's really chopped out the part that I need. But they're sold as a pair, trimmed all the way around. Now the inner doors, which are sold separately to the main doors, like I say, are aluminium. And to look at the face of it here, so that obviously sits inside there, but it's at that orientation there. So it gets these stitch lines going from left to right on them. And then looking at the back of the panel, you have these elements here for the door release and window winders, etc. It's also shaped metal. You can see it's been bent to the correct curvature. You can see all of the grading points on there. So they're supplied fully trimmed up, ready to go into the car behind. So that would effectively be like that there. For the left hand, obviously it's facing the other way at the moment. Right, door tops. Similar concept to the dash top. Door tops, as part of the trim panel kit, are supplied just material to recover your original metalworks. And there's a rubber in there as well, a shaped rubber, so you are in videos for more details on that. But this customer has opted for fully trimmed brand new door tops. So this is how they go. That's how they sit in the car there. Let's look at the reverse here. So it's a metal panel. It has a shaped rubber for the grab element there. Now this is where we thrive in this industry, our attention to detail. So because this has been done in leather, we have an in-house leather skiving machine which allows us to thin down leather to a suitable thickness that makes trimming these things much easier, and in fact possible. A lot of people out there would fail to trim these correctly with normal thickness leather, and you can see the levels of detail that we can go to. We can get it right in that crease at the top there, and the definition here. If you look at a lot of other suppliers out there, they can't even manage that with vinyl. So it's just, again, the levels of detail that we go to on those. So they are the door tops. Say again, they are outside the scope of the main trim panel kit, just materials as standard in the trim panel kit. We can sell the metal and the rubber individually, so see our website for details on that. So then finally, you've got the B-post Wheelarch Quarter Panels here. Now these, the bits that sit directly behind the door, next to the rear seat. And they are a combination of hardboard and metal. So you get a metal lip down this B-post finisher edge, and then you get the hardboard as the main panel. So the metal is riveted on, and then we sew the material first, and then trim it all the way around, apart from this very bottom edge here. Now it's obviously got the pilot hole there for this element here, next to the rear seats, the tractor seats. The shape of them is very similar, in fact identical to the phase 1 models of the BJ8s, and in fact very similar to the phase 2s. The only difference being the phase 2s had a cutout there. The obvious main difference as well is obviously the BJ8s had a square embossed pattern over this section here, but for the BJ7s they were originally plain, so let's bear that in mind. Obviously if you wanted to make a rather bespoke interior, of course we can do it as per BJ8 if you prefer, but originally they were always plain on the BJ7s. So yeah, as you can see, lovely finish on those again. We go that extra mile, we trim all of this back panel section up top here, because you can actually, once it's in the car, you can kind of see down there. So we trim it to one, give you a bit of extra protection against moisture from the retracting soft top, but also because you can semi-see it, at a glance it's all going to match the main interior. So again, it's those levels of detail. We really hold the mantra that the back of our panels should be as neat as possible, arguably as neat as the front of the panels, but yeah, so just bear that in mind. It's the extra details we go to here to make sure that your interior trim is the best possible. Now obviously we know our patterns as well are arguably the best in the industry in terms of accuracy for fitment. Just see our blog post for evidence of that, about the restorers around the world that will only use our kits. So yeah, I think that was a nice decent overview, running at about 12 minutes at the moment, so try to keep it as brief as possible. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out more details in the description below, including links to where to buy this on the website, of course, some links to other useful videos out there, and other links to useful information that is on our website about the materials that we use, the quality of our parts, everything. Don't assume that everyone in the industry can offer the kits that we offer. They cannot, which is why they don't have a dedicated YouTube channel to show all of these parts in detail. So just keep that in mind. I do this for a reason. It's to showcase, especially the foreign-based customers. We have a global customer base, and it's to really demonstrate to people the quality of our work without you actually having to be at the factory with me. If you were here, I could show you everything and you would be sold straight away. So this is the reason I do it. So don't assume other companies out there are offering the same stuff. They simply are not. Anyway, hope you found it useful. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts. Of course, make any comments in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.